Greetings everyone. Our project is design and development of microfluidic sensor. The team members are Riya Shah, Mansi Makwana and Manasvi. Our project mentors are Dr. S.S. Rathod and Professor N.A. Bhagat. So the problem statement that our project aims to solve is gas geyser syndrome. Now what exactly is gas geyser syndrome? Gas geysers are used domestically to get hot water, but in certain situations, incomplete combustion of gases inside the chamber releases hazardous gases. There are chances of occurrence of this scenario when there is no proper ventilation. By this, no proper ventilation, I mean that there is less supply of oxygen. Hence, there is release of harmful gases such as carbon monoxide. And carbon monoxide, if inhaled in large amounts, can be fatal to human health and cause death of the user. In such cases, there is a need to develop a microsensing device that is cost effective and efficient in such environments and can detect the slightest change in concentration of gas. Hence, we develop a microfluidic sensor that detects specially carbon monoxide gas. The application of these sensors can be in environments where there is additional provision of alarm detection, and there is also automatic turn off the geyser. Automatic The geyser could be automatically turn off. Now Mansi would explain the geometry of the sensor.
Yes. So geometry of the microfluidic sensor include insulating film of silicon dioxide, S-shaped microheater, and interdigitated electrodes coated with platinum, and sensing film of zinc oxide. The purpose of the silicon dioxide insulating film is to give electric insulation. The microheater plays a major role in the whole sensing mechanism. It is heated to a specific temperature by applying a proper electric potential to it. The interdigitated electrode is used to measure the resistance when a gas is present to the sensing film. So this completes the design of the sensor. Now to test the sensor against the carbon monoxide gas, we have made a chamber. Yeah. So we have made a chamber where we have defined one inlet and two outlets. Now the design of the chamber is ready. Now we can give carbon monoxide gas from the inlet and the sensor's response can be noted down. Now Manas will explain the whole working of the sensor.
Yes. So now that the geometry is ready, now comes the question: how are we going to simulate the microheater or the airflow in the chamber? So for that, we are going to use the physics and the multi-physics provided by the COMSOL software. So the microheater heating is done by on the concept of a Joule heating. So we are going to use the Joule heating and thermal expansion physics in COMSOL. It has three sub physics, that is solid mechanics, heat transfer, and electric current. So for the microheater to heat, it is necessary to give the terminal voltage to the microheater. So for that, we are going to use the EC module, and the heating of the microheater will be carried forward by the heat transferring solids module. So after this is done, the main important thing is to add the multiphysics. So what are multiphysics? Multiphysics are basically the in a way in which we can couple two or more physics. So for heat transfer, for heating of the microheater, we are going to require three multiphysics. That is, there is going to be coupling between the heat transfer module and the solid mechanics. Temperature coupling couples the heat transfer and solid mechanics, and electromagnetic heating couples electric circuit and heat transfer and solid. So once this is done, we are going to uh, compute the study. We have used a time dependent study. So for that, we have to select the physics that we want to compute. So after this computation, we get the temperature profile of the sensor, which can be seen here in the animation that we have already created. So yes, so in this way, in a short duration of time, we can see that the microheater heat reaches to the maximum required temperature. And now once this is done, now comes the question of the chamber that we have created so that we can for the micro heater or the sensor to interact with the gas. So for that, to make sure that the airflow is possible in the chamber, we are using laminar flow and transport of diluted species. This model is used for concentration of the gas that we are giving at the inlet. So after the simulation of this, for the laminar flow and transport in diluted species, we are going to use the multiphysics known as laminar flow coupling, which couples the laminar flow and transport of diluted species. And for that also, we are going to run and compute an individual time-dependent study for that. After this is done, we get a velocity profile of the chamber. So we can see here clearly. Just a second. Yes. So it is clear. It can be seen here. The arrows denotes the flow of the air. We can see that it is maximum at the outlet, and also in the center, as towards the wall, the flow is. You can say the velocity is very less, and towards the center it is maximum, and also at the outlet. So now after this is done, we are going to run. So now that was individual study for the heater and the chamber, and now we have to combine both the conditions so that we can get the entire final geometry together. So for that we have used the second study where we have computed all the physics and multiphysics together. So the output of this we are going to get is just enable this. Yeah. So yes, now it is clearly seen here that we can see here three profiles. That is, we can see the temperature microheater being heated, and there is this the flow is also visible. So for more to see how it actually happens, we are going to use the animation option we have here. So if you may look closely, it might take just a second. So basically the animation provides us a clear view of how exactly the process happens throughout a duration of time. Yes, it's almost ready. Yeah. Now, yes, you can see here. Make sure you look at the arrow. The color changes, that denotes the change in the velocity, and you can see the micro heater also heating. So this was the entire geometry part. Now to verify whether the heater is working properly or not, we are using a provision called analytic function, wherein we can give an equation and we get the desired plot of based on the equation. So this is the we have here confirmed that the Joule heating concept, that as the temperature increases, the resistance also increasing, and this is the plot that verifies our result. So yes, Ria, you may like to conclude.
Yes, so this was all about the working of the sensor. The future prospects include more deep analysis of sensor in terms of concentration of the gas. So for example, we can give the concentration of gas up to 100 ppm or 50 ppm and observe the response of the gas. So this would tell us more about the sensitivity and selectivity of the sensor, and we can get more accurate results. Thank you.